go. It's Roman. Let's go bowling.
No.
Huh?
No.
Hold up, man.
No.
What is wrong with you?
Screw you!
The Far Harbor DLC adds a gun that shoots bowling balls. Let's try and beat the game with it. I woke up. It's starting to look less and less human, which is always a good sign. Add some coffee and put my survey answering skills to work. 7 in strength for the perks Heavy Gunner and Steady Aim. 8 in agility to handle my balls faster. 5 in luck for Idiot Savant. And the rest lets me take perks to take less damage and heal more. Because, oh boy. I'm gonna be taking a lot of damage. I ran away from devastating nuclear fire, experienced the polar opposite of nuclear fire. My wife died, as one does. And it was time to park the car in Harvard Yard and walk straight to the best and or only good Fallout 4 DLC. But since this is a bowling ball launcher only run, and I don't have the bowling ball launcher yet, I can't use any weapons on the way there. Which makes getting to Far Harbor much easier said than done. Do we find a One Piece because it seems kind of longer than usual? Yeah, no, we're gonna find a One Piece, but it is gonna be about like 1,000 episodes from now, so yeah, just don't worry about that for now. Isn't a lot in the north, because oh wait, never mind. As soon as I said that, there's blood bugs. Hasn't don't really have any healing items other than, oh, super mutants. New plan, we're gonna go around the super mutants. Bowling balls are very rare. Okay, I wasn't looking where I was going for like 1 second and we're getting shot at. That is an enemy. Oh my god, that is a huge enemy. Oh, no. Okay, it's actually on like it's on the very north border of the world. Yeah, okay, so I definitely like overshot it. My bad.
It's American time. No time to waste. You have to go after her.
Once I got to Far Harbor, I was immediately under attack by an assortment of eldritch horrors. And also this guy. The residents of Far Harbor stood strong atop the wall, raining bullets and Molotovs down on the monsters below. Yeah, you guys got this. Yeah, see that? That gulper, you guys did great. You throwing Molotovs at your own feet? You did a great job. Good job, guys. I just kind of stood there. I can't use any weapons yet. What do you want me to do? Talk them to death? Captain Avery thanked me for all the nothing I did by telling me about some guy who knew something about the person I only pretended to be interested in to get a boat ride over here and blah blah blah. I don't care, let's go to the bowling alley. But when I got there was something inside that I wasn't expecting. Something that would make my life much, much harder. Feral ghouls. I swear these things are going to be the bane of my existence in every challenge run, and I can't defend myself because the only weapon I can use is fervor in the building, and also there was a mine on the ground because of course there was a mine, and it's on the 2nd floor. I need to get to the 2nd floor. I don't know where the 2nd floor is. No, okay, no, no, there's also a ghoul. There's also ghouls here and there, and I don't think this is even the way. Can you guys tell? I'm like very lost. I am very lost. I just want the funny bowling ball gun. Why do you have to do this to me? Maybe it's up here. I think it might be up here. Oh my god. Okay, no. Okay, there's more ghouls. 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 Oh my god, there's a glowing one. No, it's right there. It's right there. Okay. I just gotta run. I gotta run. I need ammo, and the crafting recipe is in there along with the glowing one. Can I just loop them? Does this go to? Yes. Okay, this goes to the 1st floor. Terminal. Use the terminal. I need to use the terminal to get the crafting recipe. That was close. Yes. There we go. I got the bowling ball schematic. Save control. I don't care. Alright, quick save. Alright, now I just need to get out of here. I didn't realize I would need to sneak for this, but I absolutely do. Have we done it? Are we free? There's one enemy. No, I missed! No, I missed! Yes, okay. At long last, we finally have the gun. Now let's talk about the ammo. The bowling ball launcher, as one might expect, fires bowling balls. Trouble is, it can't just fire any bowling ball you pick up off the ground. No, it can only fire the best of the best. If I want to fire a bowling ball out of my gun, it has to be strong, oiled up, and tripping on acid. And that's only if I can even find a bowling ball in the first place. Because, as it turns out, in the 200 years I've been in the freezer, bowling has not been a priority for the people of the Commonwealth. Idiots. There are a grand total of 2 places in all of Boston where I can find bowling balls. One of them is the place I just left, and the other one is in General Atomics Galleria. And I would try and grab all the bowling balls here, but there's a glowing one in there, and I really don't want to deal with that at level 1, so...
You picked the wrong house! No.
Nice.
I guess we do actually have to walk west on foot, carrying my balls. This is gonna take a while.
I've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost to the door.
Nice, huh? And with that, it's time to roll on over to Diamond City, as I slowly realize my character plays the wrong sport yet again. It's time to head to Park Street Station and look for Nick. But, we have to talk about this. At this point, you might have noticed something about this gun. It's not very good! The Striker is a modification of the Fat Man, a portable nuclear catapult whose low accuracy and long reload time is typically balanced out by, well... But since I'm using this handheld weapon of mass destruction to shoot bowling balls at things, those drawbacks are noticeable. And they are devastating. The already poor accuracy of the weapon and my aim is made even worse if I fire it while moving. So if I were to, for instance, backpedal from an enemy getting closer to me, the bowling ball will probably miss even if I'm aiming at the target. This isn't helped by the fact that if I miss, and I miss often, I'll be almost completely helpless while I reload for the next 5 seconds. And to make matters worse, I can't use weapon mods to compensate for the Striker's weaknesses, because I can't use weapon mods on the Striker at all. The only mods available for the Fat Man are ones that make it shoot mini-nukes, and since a miniature nuclear warhead is, unfortunately, not considered a bowling ball, using weapon mods would be against the spirit of the challenge. Also, since bowling balls are so rare, ammo is rare. Fortunately, the modified bowling balls this gun fires are reusable, but in order to reuse my ammo, I need to pick it up first. Which would be easy if I didn't just fire it in the direction of an enemy. So if I miss, and let me remind you, I miss often, I'll have to run directly into the enemy, who's still alive and still shooting at me, to pick up the ammo that I just lost in order to shoot at the enemy and miss again. Fortunately, a bowling ball fired directly into the ribcage does so much damage that most creatures in the Commonwealth die after 1 or 2 hits. But after all those drawbacks, this is the one saving grace of the challenge. So all that means I'm carrying a massive clunky bowling ball gun into a subway station filled with men armed with submachine guns. How'll I do this? It's not usually this bad. Oh god, okay, are we? Yeah, okay, we died. Poorly.
Shoot up my guys? You have any idea how much this is gonna set me back?
You know, I know all your guys have got fedoras on and stuff, but, personally, I prefer bowlers. After much death, and only some of it mine, I finally managed to rescue Nick. And with that, it was time to go to Fort Hagen and find the cereal box that killed my wife. Once I got inside, I realized something that would change this run forever. Synths kind of look like bowling pins. This will be important later. I fought my way down to the lowest level and prepared to face off against the most murderous part of a balanced breakfast. Oh god, there he is! There's Kellogg! Kellogg was tough. He had backup. And he was actually not that hard to kill. Turns out, even if you're fortified with vitamins, iron, and cybernetic enhancements, you can only take a bowling ball to the sternum so many times before your cinnamon toast goes crunch. Anyway, I actually pulled a prize out of a cereal box this time, witnessed the biggest bowling pin I've ever seen, installed Check's Quest into Nick's skull, I'm saving the free trial of AOL Instant Messenger, and Kellogg's memories led me to the discovery of Virgil. The Great Green Man sent me to the Great Green Tech Building to fight a Great Green... No, just a regular courser. Now, there's another issue with my ammo that I haven't discussed yet. The fact that it's always declining. You see, once I use my bowling balls, I can reuse them by picking them up. And that's great as long as I can keep track of them. But thanks to the physics engine, the striker's inaccuracy, and the fact that I'm firing them at high speed in all directions, and they roll, bowling balls are surprisingly easy to lose track of. A lot of the time, bowling balls will just kind of go somewhere and I won't be able to find them again. Which means that not only does my ammo spawn in 2 places in the entire game, it's also slowly being worn down the longer I play. This challenge is now a war of attrition. I need to beat the game before the game runs out of bowling balls. But this is an interior area. If I fire a bowling ball in here, no matter where it goes, it'll still be in the building and I'll be able to pick it up again, right? Wrong. I don't know how it happened, but I came in here with 20 free shots and left with 4. I think at some point I accidentally left the building and despawned them all, but it's just as likely that it was Todd Howard himself punishing me for my hubris. Either way, I may be good at the game, but I'm not good enough to beat half the game with 4 shots, so it's time to visit the only other bowling alley in all of Boston. The wiki doesn't list any other locations where I can find bowling balls, and for whatever reason, merchants aren't interested in selling useless heavy plastic balls to the survivors of the apocalypse, so as far as I'm concerned, I've now looted every bowling ball in the game. With that knowledge weighing heavy on my mind and 14 bowling balls weighing heavy on my pockets, I set off to find the most obvious civil rights allegory since Detroit Become Human. Wait, this game came out in 2015. Detroit Become Human is 3 years newer. Anyway, I went straight to the Old North Church, found the most obvious civil rights allegory until Detroit Become Human, failed to understand why this object is called a chip. I mean, look at it, it's not even flat. And at this point, the game required me to join one of the factions. Being very conscious about the amount of ammo I have left to beat the game with, I decided to go for the shortest mission. But there's a problem with this approach. I don't actually know which mission is the shortest. So I closed my eyes with great difficulty, threw a dart, and set off to help the Minutemen clear out Corvega assembly plant. They decided that building an experimental teleportation device was a worthy trade for doing their chores for a little bit, and I left to find I already had everything I needed to build a teleporter. I wasn't even keeping track. I teleported into the Institute, instituted into the elevator, and tried to free my son. Unfortunately, they installed bowling-proof glass. Finally, it was time to meet my son, and oh good God, what happened to his face. Now I've reached an impasse. I cannot beat the game unless I choose one of the 4 factions, and whichever one I pick, all of the others will be hostile. Except the Minutemen for some reason. Maybe because there's only like 6 of them. I need to pick a faction, and I don't know which one to pick. I briefly considered siding with the Minutemen for no other reason than because their route is the fastest. However, their route is also the easiest, and this gun isn't so bad that I feel the need to chicken out. That leaves the Railroad, the Brotherhood, and the Institute. My decision was hard, but it came down to one factor. Synths look like bowling pins. As much as I would like for this character to destroy all the bowling pins, for obvious reasons, if I do that, I will no longer be able to play bowling. Pins and balls are both part of the game of bowling, which means that I have no choice but to join my son and his cheekbones to take over the Commonwealth. That is literally the only reason I sided with them. Sean thanked me personally by making me immediately regret my decision. I honestly considered it might not be possible to beat the game in this situation because just f***ing look at this. There's no way I'm getting through this without losing a ton of bowling balls. Nevertheless, I went through the mission very carefully, making sure to keep track of every bowling ball I fired. X688 was there. Against all odds, I climbed a tower, got the synth, and only lost 3 of my bowling balls, and all of my respect for X688. And then, it was time for the Battle of Bunker Hill. A battle between 3 factions that was actually kind of difficult this time. The Brotherhood Knights took strike after strike and refused to split. The Railroad Heavies kept rolling, no matter how hard I tried to put them in the gutter. Worst of all, I spent so many of my brain cells on bowling puns that I forgot how to enter Bunker Hill. I fought my way around the perimeter in a tactical move that definitely wasn't just me trying to find the entrance, and entered the basement ready for a fight. I ran past the Brotherhood, ran through the railroad, then... Wait, we're only doing this for like 4 sims? We're printing them in the basement like 24/7. How is any of this worth the trouble? The Institute doesn't pay me enough to question this, so I wiped the sims, got stalked by a helicopter for way too long, and teleported back to the Institute. Then I realized I was actually supposed to beat Sean above ground. Also, at some point, I realized that items respawn after a week of in-game times. That bit about the limited ammo was completely false. But before I could finish questioning this game's awful writing, it was time for the raid on Mass Fusion. Allie Fillmore decided she wanted to come along, and I didn't have the energy or ammo to disagree. Hey, it still counts. She's part of the quest, not a companion. A Brotherhood Knight on the roof donated his skin, which I used on the power armor I've been ignoring since the beginning of the game. I fought my way through the building, stole the beryllium agitator, and prepared myself to face off against... It was really easy. Turns out that high-end military hardware is no match for projectile bowling balls. Who knew? The Assaultrons were a little harder, but only because I kept missing them. After that, it was time... for filler quest that didn't matter, another filler quest that didn't matter,
And we are your new masters.
and time for the end game. The railroad has been rolling for far too long. It's time for them to reach the end of the line. What? Bowling.
I heard some very disturbing things about you.
They were right! The railroad was pathetic. The only one that remotely posed a threat was Glory and whoever happened to pick up her minigun after she died. I have no idea how half of these people could even pick it up, but whatever. They're all dead. I completed my strike, and none were spared. Now, it's time for the final battle. The Brotherhood of Steel has a giant robot, and I bet I could teach it to bowl a perfect game. Are they trying to shoot the Pridwin with their handguns? The Brotherhood airship exploded, my son exploded, and I beat Fallout 4 with only a bowling ball launcher. Shut up. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you like this, be sure to leave a like. It helps appease the angry gods of the algorithm. If you want to see more, subscribe and turn on notifications to know about the next time I have a really bad idea. Join my Discord for out-of-context posts about whatever I'm working on next. You can follow me on Twitter, if you want. Honestly, you should probably just delete it, but I won't judge. All my links are in the description below. If you want to watch more, here's a video where I beat this game with an even worse weapon. If not, then I'll see you later.